Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on J of All Trades. Today, I'm gonna get straight into this video because I've got a leak on my sprinkler line here, and I need to fix this because I've got a heat wave coming. Now, I've decided to relocate this sprinkler head somewhere else since I have to dig it out anyway, but here you can see exactly where the problem is, and so we're gonna cut this entire section out and we're gonna join the sprinkler head right back onto this same line. So let's get this line repaired. Now, I like cutting sprinkler lines with my bandsaw because I find it to be the easiest thing to use on it, but you can also use a couple other tools as well. I'd like to cut my line here and then move my sprinkler head in this location here. So as I've said, I like using the bandsaw, but you can also use a tube cutter, and this works if the jaw capacity is big enough to fit your sprinkler line. And then you can also use a hacksaw, which I find that most people have a hacksaw laying around the house, and it works really well with cutting this tubing. Here's a tip that I'd like to share with you guys before we actually move the sprinkler head. Since this sprinkler head is already set up to use the same coverage that I want when I move it, I'm actually gonna put a piece of tape right on top of it, and then I'll make a mark and put an arrow so it shows the direction in which I wanna face the sprinkler head. And this will save me the trouble from having to adjust it after moving it. Keep in mind that I'm doing this because I want the sprinkler head to have the same coverage as it did when it was here. Another valuable tip that might be useful to you is that when you're digging out your sprinkler lines, you want to be careful not to damage any other lines. And if you'd like to avoid damaging the existing line as well, you want to really take your time and dig it out in this manner. Try to start by removing dirt around the pipe and not going directly over the pipe. You can also give the sprinkler line a shake to loosen up the dirt, and this will make it a little bit easier when you're digging. As you can see, I'm trying to average where the pipe will be, and then I'm digging around it. Then I clear out a section of dirt so I can see the direction in which the pipe is going, and then I continue to dig again. Please keep in mind that I'm not going too deep because I don't want to damage the line. I'm just removing little small sections at the top until I expose the line. As I continue to go further, I can see that the line is curving, so I'm just going to continue exposing the line until I end up where I need to be. Now that I've ended up where I want it to be, I'm going to be cutting the line right here. And I'm going to show you exactly why I prefer this bandsaw over other tools. And here you can see it took me 2 seconds to cut this line and remove it out of the way. To remove the sprinkler line side, I'm going to be removing this pinch clamp here first. And I'm using a channel lock to basically twist this out and then walk it back. But there's other tools that I'm going to show you that you can use later on in this video, so just stay tuned and I'll show you different methods of doing this. Now, I'll be reusing this fitting that's here, so what we're going to do next is we're going to be cutting this piece out without damaging the fitting, of course. And here you can see that it's not very easy to just twist this right out. This is locked in there because the fitting has a barbed connection and it's really tough to really get that off. So here I'm going to show you the first method that I find to be easy, which is putting some slots or a couple cuts into this piping here with this cutter. And here I'm just going to put 3 cuts. Next, I'll be warming up this fitting and the pipe here with a heat gun. Now this allows this piping to get soft and it makes it easier to move off of the fitting. I'm able to now take my channel locks and pull this piece of pipe right off of the fitting. And here you can see the barbs on the fitting. So today, in order to connect this, I'm going to be using a different method than the normal pinch clamp. I'm going to be using a hose clamp because some people may only have a hose clamp around and they may be in a sticky situation where they need to get this repaired. So we're going to slide this hose clamp around the pipe first. Now here's another trick to get this fitting easily onto the piping. I'll spray it with a little bit of soap. And there's nothing special here, it's just regular hand soap. Now I'm going to position this fitting straight into the pipe, and I'll be using a rubber mallet to lightly tap this in until it's fully seated. Now we can slide the hose clamp over so it fits over the fitting and the pipe, and we're just going to tighten with a regular screwdriver. Now I'm testing the connection to see if there's any leaks, and it's all set and good to go, no leaks. So I've just covered everything up with dirt, and now my sprinkler head pops right out of the ground, so I'm all set for this heat wave. Now I've got another sprinkler head here that I want to relocate because I've just built a patio and I moved this out of the way. Now I need to shorten this piece and bring it all the way over to this spot here where I've dug it up. On this section, I'm going to show you guys how to do this with different tools. So this is a pinch clamp here again, but now I'm going to be using a screwdriver to help me to pry this loose. Now I'm going to cut the fitting and the head out with my bandsaw. Now I'm going to continue with my flathead screwdriver here to try and pry this off of this fitting. And as you can see, it takes quite a bit more work to do this than heating it up. So I would suggest heating it up first and then prying with your screwdriver. But there it eventually fell out. I would like to place my new sprinkler head right about here. You'll definitely want to check the height to make sure that it's going to be at the level that you want it to be. Once everything looks good, I'm going to cut the line and prep it for the installation. Now I'm going to show you guys how to repair this with the poly pinch clamps, and I'll be including links in the description for you guys so you can check everything out. You'll first slide the pinch clamp around the piping, then we'll take the fitting and the head and we'll twist it back and forth into the piping. And in this method, I'm showing you to do this without any soap. So you're going to have to push and twist at the same time. As you can see, this method also works very well because it's getting fully seated into that piping there. Once it's fully seated, we can slide this pinch clamp right over the fitting and the piping. Now we're going to use this pinch clamp tool here, and we're going to squeeze this protruding piece called a crimp ear until the clamp gets very tight around the fitting and the hose. This creates a very good watertight seal. Now I can put my sprinkler head in place and start covering everything up. Here you're going to notice that when everything is all fully covered, it's actually level with the ground. So that's what you want to aim for. So now the sprinkler head is all set to go, and you guys have seen two different methods of doing this. Keep in mind you can use these same methods to use with fittings to extend sprinkler lines and take them anywhere you'd like. Let's do a modification on this line. I would like to discontinue this particular portion of line here. The reason why I want to just discontinue this section is because I recently redid my walkway here, and that particular portion served that section. But I still have other heads on this line, so I'll just cut this section and cap it off. So here, I'm just gonna dig down about a foot or so, and I'll remove some dirt here. Now I'm gonna cut the line right about here because this is where I wanna discontinue it and bury it. And I'll be using a cap and a pinch clamp. First, we'll slide the pinch clamp on, then we'll twist this cap straight into the pipe until it's fully seated. Now we'll slide the pinch clamp over this fitting and the pipe, and we're gonna pinch it with this pinch clamp tool. And this clamp is not going anywhere. Now we can bury it and cover it up with dirt. So there you have it, guys. You can repair your own sprinkler lines. All you need is a couple tools and the right fittings. I hope you guys have found this video to be valuable. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel to continue to get more videos like this one. And I'll see you guys on the next one.